Hello and welcome to Cover Letters Take Two. Most of you will have explored cover letters with me last year and developed cover letters for a choice from a few jobs that you were offered to choose from. This year we will be reviewing the parts of a cover letter, going a little bit deeper into tips for good cover letters, and then you'll have some other job descriptions to choose from for which to target a new cover letter. Let's get started. So, quick review. What is a cover letter? It accompanies your resume when you apply for a job. It's really a way to sell yourself. It explains how you found out about the position. It's very specific and tailored to each job you apply for and shows how your skills and experiences match the job descriptions. It should make the prospective employer interested enough to grant you an interview. We use a different cover letter for each job that we apply for. And your cover letter needs to show that you know what the job involves and what the employer is looking for. To do this, you can be specific about your skills and qualities, and you also need to show how they match the needs of the job or organization. So I'm going to go over 3 simple ways to make your cover letter as specific as possible. The first one is find out who to address it to. Try not to address it to whom it may concern. You can try to find out the name of the person who will read your application, as well as how to address them. Instead of using their first name, you can use Mr., Mrs., Ms., Mix, whatever their preferred salutation is. And if you found the job in an advertisement, it will probably name a person to send the application to. If it doesn't, you can actually call the employer or advertiser and ask who to send the application to. Telephone is best, but email them if you can't find a phone contact number. The second tip is to focus on the job description, and we're going to look at this in more detail because this is super important. You're going to look at the essential skills and experiences they're looking for. Look at the tasks involved. Often they'll describe the job you will be performing. You can respond to these by showing how your skills and experiences match the job description. You might have schoolwork that demonstrates some skills and abilities that match a job. In elective courses, there may be a big focus on safety, dependability, following instructions, or specific skills related to a job. In academic courses, communication skills are essential. Work experience or volunteer work might demonstrate strengths and contributions related to the bullets on the job description. Involvement in sporting, music, community clubs, anything extracurricular that shows teamwork can often apply to the job description bullets, and hobbies or interests that are relevant to the job or that show you are interesting, unique, and take initiative to develop passions on your own. If you look at possible items on a job description, there are some examples on the screen, and you can think about things that you've done that demonstrate some of those bullets. So if the bullet is attention to detail, perhaps you've gotten a high mark in a science course that shows that you can write up, lab processes really well. If it suggests that you're a team player, well, perhaps you've been involved in a team or a club or an organization where you've worked with others on a project. That would show team player skills. If it's looking for someone who can do customer service, well, perhaps, your teachers will agree that you are really jovial. Maybe you've had a citizenship award. All those sorts of things would match those bullets. So you're going to pause the video now, and your teacher can facilitate a discussion to talk about different things you've done in school, in volunteer work, real work, extracurriculars that might show some of these bullets. Pause the video and go ahead and do that now. The third thing you can do to match your cover letter to the job description or the job posting is to find out more about the company. In a cover letter, you can refer to what the company does and how your skills, abilities, and experiences can be a valuable addition to their team. Your cover letter begins with the heading, date, inside address, and salutation. My Blueprint cover letter builder does all of the spacing nicely for you, but you have to make sure that the spelling and capitalization is accurate. Try to find out the name of the person you're applying to, and if you can't, you can leave their name out of the inside address. And for your salutation, you can always put something like Dear Hiring Team, Dear Manager, to whom it may concern is considered quite old-fashioned and not used very commonly nowadays. So the body of your cover letter includes 3 or 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 talks about the job and the organization. Of course, you're going to start your letter saying which job you're applying for. Looking at some of your cover letters from grade 10, often people did not start by saying what they're applying for. So the employer is going to get this letter and not know, maybe they have multiple postings, exactly what you're targeting. So you can do this on a line by itself. For example, under Dear Hiring Manager, you might put regarding application for stock controller position. Or you can also do this in the first sentence of your opening paragraph. For example, I'm ready to apply for the recently advertised stock controller position. Introduce why you want to work for the company, what it is about the role or the company that appeals to you. Show that you have some knowledge of the company. For example, I'd like to give you a brief overview of my skills and experience. I'm confident that I could bring value to your company as whatever the position is. Here is how my qualifications meet your requirements. Very simple introduction. If you take a look at this one, as a highly motivated and dedicated student with strong communication and interpersonal skills, that's showing what you can contribute, I would like to apply for the position of casual retail sales assistant. I have skills and experiences that match the job description, and I really value how your company focuses on customer service. I'm confident that I could bring value to this company as a casual retail sales assistant. Here's how my qualifications meet your requirements. This is a really, really strong first paragraph. Paragraph 2 is the most important paragraph. Why are you the perfect candidate, or at least a good candidate for the job? It answers the question, why should I hire you? And it highlights the most important relevant skills, knowledge, and experiences that you have that are applicable to the posted job description or position. And you always link your experiences with the job description. This is when you really have to sell yourself. When you describe a skill, show an example of how you've used it. Here is an example of a second paragraph. I have developed skills and attributes related to many of the qualities in your job description. My teachers and employers have commended me for my high level of interpersonal skills and naturally engaging personality. Obviously, if this is one of the bullets and you got a citizenship award, this would be the perfect place to put that in. In my leadership class, I worked with a team to put on a school dance. We delegated responsibilities, met deadlines, and had fun working together. You mentioned that you are looking for people with Microsoft Office skills. In my academic and computer school courses, I worked extensively with blah, 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 name the programs. I'm willing to hone my skills further on the job. As a member of an award-winning school concert band, I have shown I can perform under pressure, relating to a bullet in the job description, hopefully. These skills will help me to contribute in a position in your company. Really strong. They've taken information from the job description and highlighted that their experiences, explaining how they relate. Paragraph 3. Make sure you encourage action in this paragraph. Ask for an interview. Don't be shy. This shows that you have initiative and you're enthusiastic about the job. Here's an example. My enclosed resume will give you a better understanding of my specific background and skills. Please feel free to call me at any time to schedule an interview or to discuss the requirements of this position. Your closing paragraph, sometimes this is combined right in with paragraph 3. Sometimes it's a separate paragraph. Thank the employer for their consideration and make sure you provide your contact information again. Even though it's in your resume and at the top of this letter, it's always good to put it there. The My Blueprint cover letter builder has a closing paragraph separate from the third paragraph. It's often there together. Here's an example of a closing paragraph. Thank you for taking the time to review my application. I look forward to discussing with you more of what I can offer your store. You can reach me at a phone number or by email. I will call you within the week to check on the status of this position. Thank you again for considering me for this exciting opportunity. All right, 2 to 5 sentences, makes your availability known for an interview, gives the best contact information, thanks the employer for their time and consideration. Last but not least is the signature. The most typical way is using sincerely or yours truly. Notice the capitalizations and commas. And your name goes underneath and it might be signed by hand with the typed name underneath at the very bottom. My Blueprint cover letter builder will leave space for this for you. And you can print it off and sign it by hand, or you can sign it electronically if you're emailing this off. That's it. That's what a cover letter looks like. This year you'll be doing a new letter focused on the jobs that I will be providing. Let's take a look at the cover letter builder. It allows you to create multiple letters for different purposes. It takes the formatting stress away and breaks down the writing process. And it gives you an option to download your letters in Word, PDF, or text file, which is great when you're copying it into an online form, or even to print or email your cover letters. And when you're ready to get writing, you can access the cover letter builder under Work in the left navigation menu and start writing your very own cover letter. Let's take a quick look at what that looks like. Go under Work and you will choose Cover Letters. And if you have a cover letter from last year, you could duplicate it and start from there, making it your cover letter for 2023, or you can choose to start from scratch. You're going to edit each section of the cover letter using the little edit button on the top right. And you should be using an email that you're checking all the time. So it might be Gmail or Yahoo or some other email. It could be your school district one, as long as you're checking that one regularly and you know how to do that. Because this is a letter you can actually use, you can put in your phone number. Putting in your street or mailing address has actually become optional on a cover letter, because if you are applying online through something like Indeed or other places, you don't need to have that specific information in there. You can simply put in your city and your province and postal code, leaving the street and mailing address blank, because it really isn't relevant for this. So that's sort of new in the online world because of personal safety, that you don't get that detailed. But you do put in your postal code and you do capitalize all the letters, always. The employer information is on the job description. I've put in your assignment for you, so you look at who you're sending it to and so forth. And then when you're ready to add your paragraphs, then you click add your first paragraph, your salutation, and so forth. So if you need help and suggestions, that button is there for you. Make sure you hit the save button for each section so that it saves it for you. Once you've completed all of your work, preview the cover letter. You'll be able to see it here, completed work, and you'll add it to your portfolio for this year. Additionally, if you want, you can export it into a Word document and save it in your files, save it on your computer, on your phone, whatever you want. If you need to copy and paste the information into an online form, this is the one you want, the text one. And if you need to email it, a PDF is great. Keeps all the formatting in place. So you have those options. The most important thing is that you add it to your portfolio for this course. Beyond that is up to you. For this assignment, you have sample jobs for which you can tailor your letter with descriptions from actual job postings. So you're going to use these to make your cover letters. Even if you've already got a cover letter, that doesn't matter. You're still going to be using my blueprint to write a new cover letter for one of these jobs. There's nothing wrong with practicing this skill. Even if you already have a job, it's still useful. You might pick up some tips from your handout, from the language that I've given you, and you'll get a really solid sample cover letter. So be sure to choose a job so that you have the employer information in my job descriptions I'm giving you. I give you a name and an address for the inside address on your letter, and that's what you're going to use. A whole bunch of jobs you can choose from so that you could actually tailor this to reuse for a job that you might apply for this summer, or even for part-time during the year. So you can take a look at the job options that you have from the ones I'm offering you, something for everyone. When you're choosing this, or when you're considering a part-time or a summer job, you're at the point now where you might think about your future. So if you want to go into agriculture or horticulture, you might want to work in landscaping or at a greenhouse or on a farm. If you want to become a teacher, you might want to work at a day camp or as a sports camp assistant. If you want to go into a trades, you might want to be a construction helper. Your criteria is going to be in Teams for you and in your handout. Submitting this is easy. You choose preview cover letter, add it to your portfolio so your teacher can see it. This is absolutely essential. And you might also choose to export a copy to save. That's it for this week. We'll see you next time.